Welcome back to the channel, guys. Let's get straight into today's story. The warnings from the watchdogs are serious, and the people paying the price could be us. The UK is borrowing at record levels, debt is surging, and under Rachel Reeves, the government's financial house looks shakier than ever. Recent estimates put national debt on track to explode, with rising interest costs, heavy welfare spending, and persistent borrowing stacking up a mountain that ordinary taxpayers will eventually have to climb. Let's face it, this isn't just another economic blip. Public sector borrowing recently hit the highest levels we've seen since the pandemic, even with devastatingly weak economic growth and rising inflation dragging incomes down. Despite repeated promises to get debt under control, each budget seems to dump more burden on future generations while squeezing the current workforce harder. Reeves and her team talk about headroom of fiscal rules, but the reality shows a different picture. Borrowing rising, spending rising, and little sign of sustainable growth or fiscal discipline. What does this mean for you, me, and Britain as a whole? First, public services and pensions might seem safe now, but every extra pound borrowed casts a long shadow over future tax bills, interest rates, and inflation. We've already seen rising living costs when debt interest payments hit their peak. Estimates suggest as high as 140 billion a year, roughly the same as spending on defence and education. It will squeeze household budgets and living standards sharply. Second, this heavy borrowing is incompatible with future economic freedom and prosperity. Rather than encouraging growth, the government is locking Britain into debt finance spending and big welfare commitments. That path discourages investment, harms business confidence, and traps younger generations under a cloud of fiscal burden they didn't create. It squeezes out opportunities and threatens upward mobility for working families. Third, and more importantly, this borrowing binge directly undermines personal responsibility, freedom, and self-reliance. Instead of fostering a culture where people build their own success through work and initiative, it rewards dependency on the state. It tells people that when the system fails them, the state will just borrow more. That's just a shift away from the core values many people believe Britain should stand for: responsibility, independence, and reward for hard work. And there's a political cost too. Government credibility is failing. When promises are repeatedly made, we will cut debt, we will restore fiscal sanity, working people come first. But the numbers keep trending the wrong way. Trust is lost. Voters notice when their pay packets don't rise, when inflation bites, when job security is uncertain. They don't forget. They start looking for alternatives. In short, what we're seeing now is not just bad financial management. It's a slow destruction of collective responsibility and a gamble with the nation's future. People working hard, paying taxes, trying to get by. They're going to carry the consequences of this reckless decisions. So here's the bottom line. Rachel Reeves and the Labour government may talk about stability, fairness, and priorities for working people, but when borrowing explodes, debt climbs, and interest payments soar, talk means nothing. What matters is real long-term economic responsibility, and that means cutting waste, restraining spending, protecting taxpayers, and giving people the freedom to build their own lives without being weighed down by debt. If you think Britain deserves better, if you believe in prudence, personal responsibility, and national economic strength, then we have a problem. The debt binge isn't just unsustainable, it's dangerous. Thanks for watching. If you appreciate honest takes on economics, politics, and what's really going on behind the scenes, hit subscribe and stay tuned. This fight matters.